Back in high school, I had this cooking class I genuinely loved. It was one of the only parts of my day that didn't make me feel like a background character. And I wasn't popular. I wasn't athletic. I didn't have the kind of charm that made people gravitate toward me. But in that kitchen, I could create something. Garlic bread that could make you weak in the knees. A vegetable soup that could actually get a kid to eat spinach. Even desserts that had teachers sneaking in for a bite. One day, we ran out of time in class, so I had to pick up my finished dish later on. It was something I had worked hard on, plated perfectly, wrapped in plastic, and took with me to one of my later classes. That's when they noticed. Two girls in that class, always glued to their phones, always whispering and laughing like they were the queens of the room. One of them looked up and immediately asked, "Ooh, where did you get that?" I told her I made it. She laughed. "No, you didn't." Her friend chimed in, "Be real. You? Cook that." I stayed calm. Repeated, "Yeah, I did. Cooking class. You know, that room 2 halls over." They just giggled. Nah, no way. That should have been the end of it. I figured they were just idiots trying to get a reaction. So I shrugged it off and got back to my work. But then, I heard movement. One of the girls had walked over. Without saying a word, she grabbed my plate of food and started walking away with it. Like it was hers. No eye contact. No explanation. Just taking it. I grabbed her arm. Not hard, but firm enough to stop her. My voice low but sharp. "What are you doing? Let go of my food." She looked at me like I had just slapped her. Her eyes wide, mouth open. "Let go of my arm." "No, you let go of my food." Her friend stood up now, voice rising. "You can't touch her. Let go of her." And so the yelling match began. Two girls screaming at me to release her, me demanding they return what they stole. It was like arguing with toddlers, who had just snatched your toy and acted like you were the villain. Eventually, she jerked her arm away and stormed back to her desk, asterisk still holding my plate. By the time I got there, they had already unwrapped the plastic and were casually eating it, just sticking forks in like it was a community buffet. No shame, no remorse, just scrolling their phones and munching on the food I had spent an hour crafting. I stood there in disbelief. Told them again, "Give it back." They didn't even look up. "Shut up," one of them said. "Go away." That was the final straw. "All right," I said. I walked over, snatched the plate out of their reach, ignoring their screeches, and ripped off the rest of the plastic myself. Then I walked calmly to the trash bin and dumped it. I returned the plate to my cooking class like a soldier returning from war. Mission accomplished. But I wasn't done. When I got back, they were acting like nothing happened. Just chilling like they hadn't just committed one of the most ridiculous high school crimes ever. So I walked straight over and spit right in the first girl's face. The sound of shock in the room was palpable. Then I turned to her friend and did the same thing. Their explosion was immediate, screaming, swearing, calling me disgusting, threatening to report me. Me? I just sat down, opened my notebook, picked up my pencil, and went right back to my schoolwork like nothing happened. Exactly like they had done. Of course, they ran to the principal's office. Soon enough, I was summoned too. We all sat down, me, the two girls, and the principal. They got a stern talking to, a verbal slap on the wrist. "Don't take other students' food. That's not acceptable." Me? I got a 2-day suspension. Why? For spitting, they said. For grabbing the girl's arm. But then, the principal kept going. She told me grabbing her arm could have traumatized her. Because get this, girls experience things in real life that make this kind of contact very triggering. I was stunned. "Wait," I said. She wasn't traumatized enough to steal my food and eat it in front of me, knowing full well it wasn't hers. She didn't like that. So I added, if she's scared of someone grabbing her arm, maybe she shouldn't walk around stealing stuff from people. Unless that fear only applies when it's convenient. And yeah, I might have ended it by asking the principal if she was actually serious or just slow in the head. That turned my 2-day suspension into a 4-day. Worth it. I won't lie to you. I knew I was in trouble. I knew I had gone too far by their standards. But on that car ride home, as my parents sat quietly trying to figure out how they were supposed to react, I sat there grinning. Because for once, I didn't get walked all over. For once, the bullies didn't win. They tasted my food, and then they tasted my fury. I don't recommend spitting on people. But sometimes when the system fails you, when the rules protect the wrong side, and when dignity is the only thing you have left, you fight for it. Even if that fight gets you 4 days off. If this story gave you chills or made you laugh, smash that like button and share it with someone who knows the pain of being disrespected. Drop a comment. What would you have done in my place? And of course, subscribe for more stories where karma serves a hot.